Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Let's see, we got Pudgy, Rick, Large. Rick said, "Why is the guy in the opening video wearing gloves? It's June." I agree. I really need to make a opening that's summery. I hate looking at winter stuff when it's nice outside. I don't want to be reminded of no leaves on the trees and all that. So I should make a new intro. So yeah, I'll run the GoPro one day when I get back in town and do that. So Farley said it's weird watching with coffee and not booze because he's working in the evenings again. And Pudgy was saying, yeah, congratulations to traveling through. If he pops in, hopefully we'll get to tell him in person because he hit 1,000 subscribers. What, yesterday was that, I think? Yeah. So Pudgy said it happened after video 69. Nice. That's pretty fast, I believe. It'd be interesting to see what my breakdown was from when I started doing it consistently, about a year ago. But, I was on YouTube since 2010, but I was just post videos whenever I wanted. So, I had between 20 and 30 subscribers for 5 years or whatever. So, what's up, Jay Dandy? Roger Hart, what's up, man? Broadford. Malk's in here. How you doing? Dylan. He's wrenching. He just posted a couple photos. We'll pull those up. Pudgy was saying run the GoPro in the pack ride. Yeah, I'll probably still... I will use both GoPros, but I'll probably still use the one on the bars for key moments and not just let it run because then it just dies too fast. So it needs to. I need to go out intentionally to make an intro when I know I want to let it run. So, how Pudgy said he hit it this morning at 7 a.m. Oh, that's right. It's hard for me to remember when I'm reading the Discord because I switch back and forth between work and then like checking comments and checking the Discord so much when I'm, because today was a day where I was here all day long. I didn't go anywhere. I was just editing all day, and I was taking breaks from editing to finish some of the chores I want to get done before I leave on Sunday for Louisville. So yeah, speaking of today, it was a good day to get stuff done. It was super gloomy around Northeast Ohio all day, rain on and off. I saw Large got out for a ride, but I just didn't even consider it. It was gloomy and I had a ton of stuff to get done. But then right before I started the stream, right before I put the intro on, I went down the basement to grab a beer. I actually got Enjoy By's latest. It's Enjoy By July 4th, 21, Tangerine and Pineapple IPA. I went downstairs to grab that out of my kitchen's in the basement, if you don't know, to grab that. And there's all this beautiful glow outside. So I'm like, oh, we're getting a really pretty sunset. Walked outside, was looking around, looking at my garden, the flowers, just when you get that really cool orangish pink glow. It happens sometimes at sunrise, sometimes at sunset, but it really reflects off the cloud. And then I looked up at the building and there was a double rainbow over it. So really cool when you get a rainbow at sunset. And then rainbows are rare enough around Northeast Ohio that pretty much everyone stands outside and looks at them if you notice them. I can't remember who it was. I think it was maybe my friend Mike, but he had moved out to, that wasn't Mike, someone who had moved to Seattle, and there was a rainbow, and I guess he was taking a photo, and someone walked by and they're like, you're new around here, aren't you? Because I guess it's like completely common out there. It's so rainy that a rainbow is not a rare occurrence. Around here, it still is rare enough that it's kind of cool, especially when it's tonight. It was just an absolutely beautiful one with the way the sun was. So Rick asked if I had a model release for the rides. He needs compensation. If anyone was going to get paid, I think it would be Large Marge, because what is he in 75% of my videos? So probably Large Marge and then Aaron are 1 and 2 on that list. Hey, what's up, Patrick? Yeah, it looked like you guys, Pudgy said it was rain and thunderstorms all day in Central Ohio. It looked like you guys were getting it pretty good yesterday, last evening, too. Right when we were about to go out for our group ride, it started raining here. A couple of the guys still went out. Otis, Large Marge, Ryan Hugh, our friend Mike Maris is back in town, and they all went riding. And it wasn't a washout, but again, my night last night was just like it is today. I was rebuilding my shower and doing all the plumbing, and I'm like, it makes more sense to get this done. I don't want this half done when I leave town, you know. Plus, I only have, I get back a week from tomorrow, and then Saturday, if we're all going to meet up and do some mountain biking, and then Sunday's the ride. Like, I just got to, as much as I hate not getting rides in right now, I got to stay focused on my work and chores, unfortunately. Roger said I'm blurry? If it was blurry, I wasn't paying attention. It looks like it's back in focus now, and it looks like the bandwidth is okay, so yeah. Dylan said he got caught in super heavy rain riding back from work. Yeah, Pudgy said, yeah, nature is popping off from Pride. Yeah. I saw your post too, Pudgy, your story about Stonewall and the Stonewall riots. When me and Aaron were in New York, what was that, summer of 2019? We were actually walking through that neighborhood, and we walked by the Stonewall, and we stopped in a corner store. She needed to get smokes, and I asked the guy running the register, if that was the Stonewall, and it is. He told me it had been like a coffee shop and a number of things over the years, but now it's been converted back into a club. I believe he said by the original owners, so that was kind of cool to see it in person, and that it's, you know, Unlike a lot of things in New York that are so ever changing, it's like, well, this used to be here, now it's a glass tower. That was still there in the original building. So Patrick said it's 6 p.m. and 103 Fahrenheit and sunny. Wow. Probably 5 degrees warmer where Rusty's at. So, yeah, maybe Roger's been drinking tonight. Patrick's blurry. Oh, this is really good. How strong was this? I didn't even look. Enjoy buys were usually just typical IPAs, but then the last few times I got them, they were hazies. This one, oh, this one's a double. Tangerine and pineapple, 9%. Need to be careful on those because I don't want to stay up too late or get too buzzed because, like I said, I've got to shoot tomorrow at 10 a.m., which is not too early, but I have to get a few things done before I go to that, and then I'm going to test out all the camera gear and help unbox it. We rented it all that we're bringing on the week-long photo shoot or video shoot in Louisville. So Pudgy was saying that he wishes CBGBs had the same look. Yeah, that situation though, it seems like it was pretty much the owner's fault, right? He wasn't paying his rent. He never owned the building. It's still unfortunate, and you would think there would be enough money, like if he would have just reached out to people. So, but yeah, also, I'm sure they were just waiting for him to mess up because that neighborhood had become quite more desirable than what it was in the 70s or 80s and even early 90s. So, all of Manhattan, I mean, all of Manhattan is expensive now. There's not really a bad part of it anymore. So, even the first few times I went to New York on my own, there were still parts that were a little questionable. Now it's all super nice. So. Yeah, one thing I was thinking, so for anyone who doesn't know, I think most of the people here tonight are regulars, but I'm trying to decide what to bring of my own stuff on this trip because we'll leave Sunday and we're going to have a dinner, get everything together when we get down there, and then we'll work for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and leave on Thursday evening. And so I'm not going to bring. I already decided I wouldn't be bringing my R5 because it would be out of my sight too much. It would be either sitting in a van or sitting in a hotel room, and I don't want to do that. But it's also having some warranty issues, so I'm going to send it back tomorrow morning. So it's the perfect time to send it to Canon because I'll be gone for a week, not being able to use it. I still think so. This is my 5D4. It would be hard for me to go travel without a nice camera. I'm so unsure of how much time I'll have to use it because I'm going to be holding, the cinematography cameras, which is the Sony FX3. I don't know how much free time I'll have, but even in the evening, it would be hard for me to go somewhere and not be able to shoot. I would be fine bringing my film cameras if I was going to have time during the day, but it'll be probably mostly evening stuff, so I don't want to waste rolls of film on, evening shooting. It's just not what I like to shoot with film. So I'm still debating that. I'll definitely bring one of the GoPros. I'll bring the Hero 9 with the probably something to attach to a bike and the also my mouth thing that I always shoot with. But we are now taking 2 Suburbans and there's 5 of us. So I believe if I want to, I can bring a bike. The issue with that is kind of the whole thing of like, if I bring it and I don't use it, I'm going to feel guilty have taken up the space and time and effort of everybody to arrange for that. But at the same time, I know if I don't bring it, I'll be missing it. And city bikes, well, they're fine to get from, if you're just trying to ride to lunch or a brewery or whatever, dinner, they're great, but you can't really rip around on those things. So I would love to have my bike, so I'm thinking Sunday we have the meeting. I could possibly ride Monday night if the weather's good, whenever we finish up. And even if it was 8 o'clock, I would still go out for a ride. Tuesday, I'm going to try and stream from the hotel room. So unless we finished really early, I wouldn't end up riding. So then there's Wednesday, and then Thursday we'll be driving home as soon as we're done. So even if there's space, is it worth it? And then what bags do I put on it? What do I try and bring? Just enough for tools probably is all I'd really need. But Bring a Velo Orange neutrino. Well, I would never need to bring a Kodak disposable because as you could see, I have plenty of film cameras. And then some aren't valuable, like that, so I have no problem carrying like the film camera with me. But Rick was saying, can you use the Sonys for my own photos? Probably not. We'll be doing like memory card dumps every evening and monitoring all the memory. And the FX3 really, even though it can be used for photos, it's like a 12 megapixel camera, totally designed for cinematography. It'll shoot the photos, and I'm sure with the glass we have, they would still look good. And it's not that you can't take 12 megapixel photos, but I don't know how to use Sony's. I'm going to have it set up and focused on exactly what I needed to do for video, so I wouldn't enjoy it. So I'm leaning towards bringing this with the lens I have on it, which is a 16 to 35, because that's so versatile. But bring a Brompton. Pudgy was saying bike Friday. Well, I'll be back on Friday. I would love to ride on Friday. I wonder if I'll be catching up on work then. You know, I'll obviously bring my I'm going to have my laptop because that's how I'm going to stream. I guess I do kind of need it if I'm going to stream too. What would I mean? As you guys have seen, the GoPro freezes up when I try and stream with that. So I guess now thinking it through, I need the audio recorder, the 5D, my laptop, and then a GoPro for just even moving around. And if I do get the chance to ride even a city bike, I would still film something on the GoPro, even if it was just for, stories. Oh, Pudgy was saying Bike Friday is a brand like Brompton. Huh, I've never heard of them. Oh, folding bikes. Yeah, I have not heard of that. Look it up. I've seen the Velo Orange small bikes, but Dustin Klein was just talking about Bromptons because he was talking about wheel size on one of his live streams and how people were telling him the Brompton wheel size didn't matter and it was just as fast. And then he said he got on the one he tried and it was slow as F. So I've never ridden one. Oh, they make all different kinds of looking ones, huh? This one looks like it has a 9-speed Shimano group set on there. There's a belt drive one. No saddle. This one looks like it has an internal hub. Are those up? Yeah. There's where's the shift? Oh, bar end shifters on that one. Some crazy cable routing too for that 3. Probably like a 3x9. Was that Altus group set? Yeah, those are interesting looking bikes. Oh, Pudgy said they're super spendy, huh? It looks like they've been around for a while because these must be all different eras here, huh? Can't believe I've never heard of them, seeing how many there are out there. Look at this one. Full bike packing setup with the bags here. A Paradise and some Ortliebs. Guess if you're going to go bike packing and also end up on trains, that would be like a perfect setup, huh? Or bike touring, whatever. Does this one have like carbon wheels on it? But you said they've been around a while now for sure. Getting a kick out of these. Yeah, there's a lot. Oh, this one actually has a suspension fork. Oh, and like kind of wide tires, huh? They used to be Bike Thursday. Yeah, I think that's what I'll end up doing is bringing the 5D. Plus, I like to keep them separate, anyways. I've talked about that, anyways, when I travel or just even go somewhere. I like to have one of them on me just so I don't have both my expensive cameras in one place in case something happens. Unless they're both on me for shooting with two different lenses if I need to be quick. But since I've had the R5, there haven't been that many events or anything, so I haven't needed two cameras, like any redundancy really. And I haven't traveled far enough to be like, well, if something happens to one, some card error, type thing, that I need them both. But yeah, it looks like people are spending some big money on some of these builds. Patrick said they were featured in the movie See You Bike Wednesday. Still, oh, sorry. Check this. Yeah, there we go. Yes, I think 5D laptop, audio recorder, the cables I need, um, GoPro Hero 9, and then I'll see. I think I might even just bring my gravel bike, my rally, in my car when I go to meet up. Where I'll be parked, I won't really have to worry about it. It's in like a corporate park in Fair Lawn, and I could probably get the vibe of what everybody else is doing and see the way everything's getting packed up. You know, Fudgy. Oh, there's one actually folded up, and it gives us an idea of how compact they are. It would just totally depend on where you live. I can't see a reason for a folding bike around here, but we don't have any decent public transportation. So, and you know, nobody's crammed in really small spaces either. Rick said, Tim, can we bring my bike and leave some of the lights and stuff here? Yeah, I know. That's exactly how I feel. But the good thing is, Josh, the guy who pitched this idea to the company, and maybe I was going to ask him. I don't think he stays up very late, but on Tuesday, if he wanted to come up and live stream with me, but he he actually raced bikes, like road raced. He was a sprinter, but with all of our mutual like other interests, I met him doing charity work for a group called Snow Angels. But then we've always talked about video and cameras and nerd out about on that stuff. That I haven't really gotten many of his stories about when he was actually racing. So it could be cool to have him on. I know this isn't a big racing group, but it would still be interesting to hear from someone who was on that side of cycling. Oh, what's up? What's up, Rusty? Patrick was talking about how hot it was out there. Oh yeah, there were some drink picks I think from tonight too. Oh, a couple. What is? I haven't seen this. Summit has gin, apple, and cucumber cocktail from two chicks. So like a canned cocktail type thing. Oh, then Pudgy had his Lemmy beer koozie, which is super sweet. I Midwest Red India Pale Ale. Is that a masthead? Yeah, masthead. Yep. He said I think he said Yellowbird made them. Yeah, those are sweet. And then the other side. I don't know if I ever mentioned on here, but I saw Motorhead in Detroit the year before Lemmy died. So it was kind of, I'm not glad he died, but glad I got to see him before he died. My friends Eric and Josh, who Josh had died, were like, we got to do this. We have all these hotel points because they traveled for work all the time. And they were like, hotel's free, it's on us. And we went up and got to see Motorhead in Detroit, which was pretty cool. Oh, and Rick was talking about how, yeah, with the iPhone 12, how it could shoot in the dark. It'll just do a long exposure, and if it's really dark, it'll actually put an X in the center of the screen. And I've taken pictures of Aaron's cats when we've had nothing but the fire going in her fireplace, and it's absolutely amazing. Like he said, there's some artifacts. Like if you went to blow these up, they would fall apart. But for showing like on a phone or a computer screen, it's absolutely amazing what they can do with that. Hey, what's up, William? Hey, what's up, B Vixer? Also known as Funny Brad. I'll go back up here through the comments a little bit. Roger saying Lauren Russ of Pathless Pedal toured on Bromptons. Yeah, I saw that. I haven't gone that far back into his channel to see if he has videos on that, but I know I've seen him show photos and talk about how they did that. So Pudgy was saying people working in office jobs in cities can bring them into their office. Where we're talking about the fold-up bikes again. That was common in Boston, Portland. Yeah, see, that would make totally sense in a dense city. Japan, anywhere in Japan, right? Or New York, I would get that. Where you don't want to leave your bike outside and you don't have enough room in either your office or your apartment. But yeah, Northeast Ohio, it would be a little unnecessary for most people. I mean, definitely downtowns are kind of coming back. So, I'll probably end up seeing more in Cleveland eventually. So. William LeBron, I've seen him post, if you guys follow him on Instagram, a bunch of cool riding photos over the last week, or last couple weeks even, yeah. Fellers. Yeah, guy. We prefer guys in Ohio, but everything is pretty much guys. What's up, guys? How's it going, guys? Yeah, dudes. I think guys is taking over for everything. It's really weird when you say that somewhere and like there's a woman who is like guys, or it's a group of women and they like complain about that, and I'm like, that's what everybody says for everything. It's not like I, I don't think anyone attaches that to any kind of, you know, male, female. Like around here, guys is so uniform. Wow. I said I need to be careful with these, and then I just completely like putting this one away. So. Oh, this is Large Marge was out on his single speed earlier. Oh, that must be out by the rail yard, the spot where people skate. There's a little overhang. I made a video about that late last summer. Single speed still looks so cool. Still, always did. Wait, flat bars? Did you always have flat bars on that Large? Why in my mind did you have drop bars on that before? I could have sworn when we both rode our single speed, you were riding yours, you had drop bars on this. Am I making that up? Not that there's anything wrong with that. For what you guys were talking about and for. No, he had drops on this for sure. That doesn't look right from the front. Oh, you just changed him. Yeah, you said you did just change him. Getting back to your roots, fixed gear flat bar bike, but totally different than your old fixed gears. Oh yeah, Pudgy, that's true. I forgot. Fixed gears make it a bar swap like a 2 minute job. That's right, because you're not. Well, you don't have any brakes on this, huh? Go back and. Oh yeah, in the Discord, chatting about caps, and Rick wanted one of the more like athletic style ones. He said he ordered a couple of the walls white technical floor panels. Yeah, I think those would be real good for the. I haven't had one. I think I can't remember. Maybe Large remembers when we did the Akron Coffee Roasters ride, and they had a hat that year. I think those are were those walls, but they were definitely the technical material, and I still wear those on really hot rides. It's perfect for that. It's got chain brakes on it. Yeah. Oh, then Dylan said he saw this at work, and he was saying how they must be running 19s. I was trying to figure out if this was an. It looks like a slightly older Bianchi, because they've become like everyone else where they're hit or miss, and they some of their frames are just whatever, and some are kind of nice. And I was wondering if this is a nicer one or not. Yeah, I guess if he just uses it as a commuter in the bike lanes, because look, the way this bike is built up, this is not someone trying to run anything too fancy here. But still, 19, man, that would just beat the hell out of you no matter what. There's just no road smooth enough in Ohio for 19s. There's no road smooth enough anywhere. A velodrome is the only place smooth enough for 19s. Still like it in the classic Celeste, Celeste. Rick posted this photo, and I was wondering, is this a Steve McCurry photo? Those colors look exactly like something Steve McCurry would take. And it's 1983, so it looks like Kodachrome, and just his underexposing style. That looks exactly like that, but super cool. What did he put as the caption? Passengers on a local train attaching their bikes to get to the next village in West Bengal, India. Yeah, that's pretty rad. That one in the front looks like a like one of the original safety bikes, like 1905. Oh, Pudgy was asking if those were tubulars, sew ups, tubulars. I don't think they were. Let's look again. Oh wait, I have it up here somewhere already, right? I think those are clinchers. Hmm. Hard to say, but I can't imagine this guy is running tubulars. Hard to tell from that, even on my screen with the full resolution shot. If this was an older bike and those were original tubular wheels, wouldn't they probably have high flange hubs from that era too? I'm not sure. Just yeah, Rick. Are now sew-ups is kind of the American term for tubular tires. The pros race on tubulars, and the tube is literally sewn into the tire, and that's still what 98% of the pro peloton is riding on. And then the tire is glued to the wheel, And professionals actually glue it, but there's also a glue tape you can use that people, more people who use them at home would. They're they're more they're more supple. They're rounder. You could ride on a flat longer on them than you can on a clincher. They're lighter, so that's why pros use them. Excuse me. I don't have the I don't have like a mute button like they have on the radio here when you need to cough or sneeze. So. Rick said not sure about the photographer of the photo I was showing before. When I was zooming around, did I not have that up? I can't remember already. So he was saying he's not sure about the photographer. I would almost guarantee that's a Steve McCurry photo. It just looks exact. His style is so distinct. If you don't know who Steve McCurry is, his famous photo is his most famous, one of the most, probably the most famous photo ever taken, called Afghan Girl. I would say it's the most famous. I don't know. Someone might be able to dispute that. This photo. I went to see him speak in Canton not long before the pandemic hit. It was awesome. He was fascinating and took questions. Pudgy was saying velodrome riders race on tubulars or sew-ups as well. My my Jeton Tour de France actually came with a set of campy wheels that had sew-ups on them. They were completely dry rotted. I did pump them up and like ride it around the block a couple times with them on there just to see what they felt like. But they must have been like 21 millimeter tubular tires. But I saved them. They're just kind of cool. And a lot of, so Jan Hein, who we talk about on the channel a lot, behind Renee Hurst Tires, Compass Tires, he was talking about how the pros, a lot of people will say like, well, why are the pros still riding such narrow tires if narrow tires aren't faster and all that stuff? And he tries to explain that they're also riding handmade, most of them are riding handmade tubular sew-up tires that are way more supple than what a clincher can possibly be. So that kind of mitigates some of the factor of how narrow their tires are. They're super supple tires that the pros ride. So, and the pros, like we said before, like they ride fast enough that aerodynamics actually do matter, especially if you get into a breakaway. So Patrick was saying he remembers the Afghan girl photo from the cover of National Geographic. Yeah, it originally I think was on National Geographic in the early 80s, but it's been then put back on a number of times. And he also went back and found her, and did I still have that up there somewhere? Rephotographed her later in life. So that one's not coming up. But yeah, there's a photo of what she looks like now as well that I think they used on National Geographic too when he went back. So, and I think he was drawing attention to the Soviet invasion and the refugee situation there and all that kind of thing. So. Oh, Pudgy was saying when he was working as a mechanic, the hipsters, and I assume you mean like fixie dudes, loved soaps, which was not fun for you guys. I can't imagine it would be. I thought of leaving the Jeton, like getting a new, with using those original campy, that original campy wheel set, and like putting, uh, I always say tubular because I always watch British coverage of racing. Soaps, I just know is the term they use here, but I've never heard anyone say it out loud. But I always default to tubular, they're the same thing. Um, but then I was like, man, what do you do if you blow a tire on the road, you have to take it off, you have to re-glue one. The glue doesn't dry instantly. A lot of times you have to scrape some glue off. I know Pudgy would know more about this than me. I just did the research and I was like, no, that'd be a bad idea. Oh, here's a photo I think that might be of her. Yeah, because Pudgy was saying reconnected with Afghan Girl not too long ago. there was a big controversy on YouTube a little while ago. A big photography YouTube channel kind of gave Steve McCurry a bunch of shit for saying that that photo was the way he went about taking it and stuff was not legit. Steve McCurry ignored it entirely. A lot of other people came to his defense. He went into a school and took the photo, and I don't know. I think the situation is similar, maybe to the another one of the most famous photos, Dorothea Lange's photo from the Dust Bowl. Where that woman was like very poor, and she took her photo, and then later in life, the woman was like very embarrassed of the photo. So, but she had permission to do it at the time. It's called Migrant Mother, I believe. There it is. But so when people were complaining, or when there was a controversy a little bit with Steve McCurry, it really reminded me of and this just came about a couple years ago. It kind of reminded me of this story where it's like, it was a great photo. There was permission to take it at the time. People could feel later about being what it's become to symbolize, could feel weird about it. And that happens in life, happens in photography, happens in video, documentaries, movies, whatever it may be, right? Oh, so Patrick was saying he found where the train photo came from. Oh, yeah. Well, you can't accuse me of not knowing my photography history. So I did look at a photo and be like, that was Steve McCurry, and it is Steve McCurry. So, anyways, the link is in the Discord if you're interested in checking more of it out. His photos are beautiful, even to this day. I follow him on Instagram, and he's still, even though he's shooting digital now, they're still absolutely, it has the same kind of vibe. They're beautiful, beautiful photos of all kinds of cultures all over the world. Yeah, Pudgy was saying everyone romanticizes the kiss, which is the Victory in Europe Day photo in Times Square, and yeah, people have since said that photo there was a sailor really just grabbing a woman and kissing her, and it's not actually. See if it comes up. See if I could just Google the kiss. That says 19. No, that wouldn't be 1929. There's a big statue of it somewhere, right? Horribly low quality one. There it is. Yeah. Yeah, I think I read later that was, yeah, like aggressive and has not aged well. But and Patrick was saying he read an article about the girl in the photo at Kent State in 1970. Her life was rough. Some of it a result of the photo. Yeah, they were all the people in a lot of the famous photos at Kent State, like even the families of the four students who died and the 9 who got injured, were getting like death threats and hate mail, a lot like what's going on right now with people reacting to the wrong stuff. Um, uh, one of the students killed at Kent State was not involved in the protest. They were walking across campus. What Alison Krauss, right? She was walking from music class and got shot through the throat. She was a singer, which is, people said, just, coincidence, but still messed up. I think this would be the photo you're probably talking about. Yeah. Yeah, that was that whole situation. So weird. I went, you know, me and Large ride out to Kent almost probably in the summer once a week, So there's been a lot of, Kent has built over some of the spots where this happened. Now they have these parking spots blocked off at least so people aren't parking cars where the students who were killed in that parking lot were. But yeah, Rick, who I bought the building off of at one point, gave me, I'm sitting actually down there, a whole his whole time life collection of photography books, and they're from technique to historic stuff, and they're awesome. And I think I've read the entire series, like he said he did when I think like he was in his 20s. So it's been really, really, it was really, really interesting, like to go through all that. And since I still love film photography, a lot of them are relevant because that's when they're from. So stuff about the negative, the print, darkroom enlargements, and all that. But then the historic stuff too, I absolutely love. Rick says I found the unretouched photo of Kent State. The fence post is still there. So they have airbrushed the fence post out in later photos. Let's see. Yeah, that little pagoda is still there too. It's such like a haunting thing when you're at Kent to go up there and see it. Let's see if I could find the photo with the fence post airbrushed. I don't know about that. I'll have to read about that. Rusty said he was considering Kent as a potential place to relocate. Seems legit with all the bike paths. 11 miles to Akron, 30 miles to Cleveland, lots of bars and restaurants in Kent. Yeah, I mean, I rarely go onto campus or anything like that anymore, but the town is great. I mean, that's why we go out there so often. One, there's two bike paths that will take us there. From here, we could do the hike and bike, which is a fun, more hilly ride, or I could go into downtown Akron and take the Freedom Trail, which is a straight, flat ride. And then also from Kent, you could ride really easily out into the country on chill roads. That's how we go to, well, there's another 10 miles of trail past Kent, and then it kind of ends in the country, and that's how we ride out to Large Marge's parents who live on his part of his grandma's old farm. So, yeah, be funny. Brad lived there for 16 years. Um, I was only there for a couple years, but like I said, I've gone back my whole life. When I was in a band, that's where we played shows, stuff like that. I feel like I saw a new comment that I skipped over somewhere. Oh, Alejandro. Uh, hey, what's up, man? Uh, he asked if I was a photo major in college. Um, I only uh, got through about a year and a half would even be generous with what I passed of college. So I went to Kent. I took a bunch of the introductory classes. I had a photo class. Um, did a little bit of darkroom work there, but I dropped out of college, played in my band, was a car wash manager for years, and I only became a professional photographer. Man, now I don't know how far the time's gone. I did it as a part-time hobby through my early 30s and then became a pro maybe 6, 7 years ago, like full time. So no, I was not a photography major. It's all been I'm all self-taught or taught from the guy I bought my studio off of too. But yeah, the school of YouTube has been the best thing. So, and the history, like I said, this set of Time Life books and other books I've picked up from the thrift stores and stuff like that over the years. Uh, yeah, I just love it. So I read everything about it, collect these cameras. Anytime I find a new camera, I go and read the whole history of the camera and stuff like that. So Rick said he wouldn't move to a town with such a preppy name. Kent is anything but preppy in reputation, I guarantee you that. So Still has the hippie reputation, even though it doesn't even so much feel like that. Of course, there's old hippies who are still around there who never left, but not a super hippie place. Actually, the new downtown has been reformed completely. They cut out some of the horrible roads that were put through there. Kind of, there was a huge division between the city and the campus after May 4th. So some of the roads that were put through there were kind of intentional to separate them. And now they've kind of taken those out, and the university is more tied back in together with the city now. And but a lot of the places that have gone in and filled up these new buildings, and even some of the old buildings, are like high end. Like, it's expensive stuff. It's not stuff students could afford. So it's very different than when I was even there in '97, where big punk rock scene and big DIY scene, like, kind of the immediate downtown around campus was for students and punks and alternative people and stuff like that. And now it's really shifted, like just like a lot of Rust Belt stuff has. So Rusty said he wished he had toured there. Probably would have ended up there rather than Bowling Green. So BG is Bowling Green if you're not from around here. My dad graduated from Bowling Green, and my brother went to Bowling Green. But Bowling Green is like flat and in the middle of nowhere. And yeah, I think Kent is a much nicer. I would prefer Kent over Bowling Green, but two people in my family went the other route and enjoyed it better. So Patrick said his friends who went to Kent are still pretty punk bohemian, and we're getting in their 50s. Yeah, for sure. Oh, thanks, Alejandro. He said he's enjoying the chat. I discovered it all about a month ago. Great. Yeah. More the merrier. Oh, so Rusty said he was doing some army stuff at Ravenna. There's a big Ravenna arsenal. They're still clean. Or they for years were cleaning it up after World War II because there was a huge. Rick is about to come through with the super chat.
Rick Urbanovsky super chatted $5. I apologize for interrupting, but I think I piddled my trousers.
Oh man, no, that was no interruption at all. Thanks, Rick. Yeah, so Rusty, the place you're talking about is where we still go most of the time. So it's called, well, where we go is Bottles 101. And probably when you were there, it was mostly just a bottle shop. And they were like, back then, one of the only places getting like beer from all over and the craft beer that existed at the time. Now they actually have a bar in there and a patio on each side. It's even in a bunch of my videos. That's one of the spots we go to a lot when we head out to Kent. Yeah. And now one of our friends, who's one of me and Funny Brad, B. Vixer's music friends, has a pizza shop in that same plaza that does like really good New York style pizza called Lucci's. So, oh yeah, and Pudgy was telling you, Alejandro, if you want to join us in the Discord, you could drop some photos of your bikes and stuff like that, and we'll pull them up on the stream. Yeah, Farley was doing a +1 on the 101 bottles. Rusty said he toured Bowling Green, Ohio State, OU, and some other smaller schools. Yeah, yeah, those are three schools that are all very different. OU and Athens. I was supposed to be in Athens with Large Marge and Molnair on Friday, but then when this job came up, we canceled it. Aaron was supposed to have to work a farmer's market. We were going to go down there and ride because OU, there's a bike path like 10, 15 miles maybe that goes to Nelsonville, which is another like hippie town in the country. There's kind of a cool bike path through there and a couple really good breweries down there by OU. But oh, that's right, Brad. Brad said there also used to be a video rental store, 101 Video. But so Large Marge is saying Laundry 101 is up the street, but originally, right, it was bottles, video, and laundry. Weren't they all right there in that same plaza way back in the day? Brad would remember better than me, and I don't. I mean, this is a joke, which I usually do because he's a little older. But I thought in '97 they were all right there in the same. It was all like one thing, kind of. Yeah, Rusty said that was 2013. Yeah, so I'm going even way farther back before that. So did he just?
Patrick Barabay super chatted $2. Here's some dollar for Rick's new trousers. Oh wait.
What was with the weird? What was with the weird echo on the? Oh wait. Oh, so Brad saying they were separate locations. I guess I'd. Then again, I have a big gap in my Kent like kind of memory because so like went there in '97. Still went to some shows there probably 98, 99. Started playing there in the early 2000s with my band a lot. But then, probably from 2007 until I got back into cycling, I wasn't really going into Kent. And that's when the place completely changed. So that's kind of where my memory gets faded from what it all looked like. Yeah, Penn Station is in part of the 101 building right now. Hey, what's up, David? How you doing? Yeah, Rick, the oh wait. This was hilarious. I was going to see a couple more drink picks in the Discord. So David's got a Summit Brewing Company Dakota Soul. When I Google, it's funny because this Summit, and I think the Summit county they're named after, if I'm correct, is Colorado, right? But when sometimes I'll Google like Summit, so if you guys don't know, Cuyahoga Falls and Akron are in Summit County, Ohio. I'll Google it and Summit, Colorado will come up, and I'll be reading for a while before I realize this is the wrong state. Not at all what I'm trying to look for. I think David said joining so he can have a drink. Nice. David and me and Lanky. Did I see Lanky jump up in the chat and then I missed him because of the super chat, or no? Oh yeah, Lanky was in there. Oh, he said, oh, that's what I missed. He said, WTF is going on tonight. Stream has a dislike. And then Farley said, don't park over in Ravenna, over 100 tires slashed in the last couple of days. Okay, I missed that section as we were nerding out about Kent historically. Oh, so he said Summit Brewery is in Ramsey County, St. Paul. Okay. I think I probably mixed up both of those. There's a Colorado one and then that brewery when I'm trying to find Ohio stuff. But yeah. Anyways, me and David and Lanky are the three in the Discord who nerd out about pro cycling. I actually watched today's stage and didn't have a chance to nerd out about it. But I swear to God, Lawson Craddock's breakaway move on that climb was genius, and how long he was able to stay away even though it didn't stick. And then Geraint Thomas one-upped him with his little breakaway move at the end. This is the Criterium de Dauphiné, I think pronounced. So typically would be the warm-up race for the Tour de France, but the schedule is all thrown off this year because of the Olympics. So it's moved a little bit forward. So a lot of the usually the Tour protagonists would ride in this event. Some of them are not riding in it. Some are doing the Tour de Suisse instead, and some are preparing for the Olympics instead. It's all kind of messed up. So, like he said, the dislike is gone now. Must have been Rick. He's happy now that his super chat didn't get superseded by the members video. Yeah, Lanky said Thomas's move was the real genius move. Yeah, Lawson's move wasn't so much a genius move, is just so tough. I mean, like, to stay away as long as he could and to climb on like what he broke away. I had like a 14% gradient. Like, I mean, it was just tough. It was just like, it was like, man, that dude, I mean, no one could react to it as how fast he went. And then it took them what, 5Ks at least to catch him. I don't think it was tactically brilliant or anything, but it was just incredibly impressive, the power. So, Fudgy. All right, I am gonna throw on the members video. I do have to take a leak, so be right back in a minute. Hey, we are going to take a quick break right now. Grab yourself a drink, hit the restroom, smoke them if you got them. But first off, we do want to thank the members. On a small YouTube channel like this, the channel members really make a difference. They make it so we could do this with the frequency I like to do it and the quality I like to bring to the videos. It helps out a lot. So I appreciate the members. We have a few different levels, and you can check out that link in the chat right now or in the description of this video. Also, you know, I know everybody has all kinds of little ways they get nickel and dime these days with subscriptions. So if you can't help financially, that's no problem. Go ahead and hit the like button right now. Let's bump this channel up in the algorithm a little bit. So we'll be back shortly. And one more time, thank you, channel members whose name you see on screen right now. I want a tuna boat. I'll give me tuna boat. Yeah, Lanky, two things you're talking about, like saying he's a tough kid. Yeah, he wrecked, and it was his first Tour de France, Lawson Craddock, and then he finished. And for each day he stayed in the race, he raised money for the velodrome. Is he from Texas? So he raised a ton of money for to support a velodrome that was like I think it was on the edge of not being able to make it. So, yeah, Craddock's a good guy, tough guy too. So. And then Lanky said, never. His other comment was, it sounds like Tim's doing the voiceover on the toilet. I added some reverb because I thought it went with the Tuna Boat song when I redid those. When I redid the audio for the member video. It's the Piddle video. Where's he supposed to do it? Rick said tons of useless information and an Academy Award winning members video. Oh, did I? Oh, Lanky was saying Lawson's from Austin, Texas, and that's where so I assume where the velodrome was he was raising the money for. Yeah, I remember that footage of him, you know, basically in tears. Like, I came all this way, made it to the first tour, and I'm not giving up now. Yeah, pretty cool. And he rides for the coolest team in the peloton, which Lanky does not agree with. So, oh, nice. Good to see you in the Discord, Alejandro. Oh, then what Jay Dandy was talking about, an important photo in the Discord. So he must be talking about this one. Funny Brad's bike with his ultra dynamical rosés, powder coated. Oh, maybe he meant this one. Lanky said it, and he's buddies, or he's buddies with Lance Armstrong. Well, nobody's perfect. That's all we could say, right? Wait, what comment did I miss by Patty? Why am I missing? Oh, I have it on top chat, not on shoot. I usually switch, so I don't know if you guys know this, but at the top of the chat, not the one that, obviously I just have overlaid on the screen, but the actual chat where you're typing, there's live chat and top chat. And if I leave it on top chat, it'll actually not show me some of the comments. And I think it's for really big YouTube channels where they're using an algorithm to try and block out some of the less important stuff. But if I leave it on, it'll sometimes cut out some of your comments, and then I'm like a little lost. And it's one thing I almost always remember to do is, because I turn the stream on at like 8:30 to check everything, is to switch that right away. And tonight I forgot, so I've been missing some of the comments. So if you type something directly towards me tonight and I missed it, I'm sorry. I hate it. The fun of this live stream now is having the live chat. So I wish live chat was the default. Maybe I'll see if I could switch that somewhere. Yeah, because now Patrick's comment is up there, which wasn't up there until I switched it. Well, I think Broadford was saying the mustache thing on Funny Brad's tattoo is throwing him off. I think that's the point, is that it's not a true reveal. He's not letting anyone see the full glory that is the yin yang head tattoo. Pudgy said he's got a bunch of Livestrong bracelets still. Wonder if they're worth anything. I doubt it, because there were tons of those, right? And so Livestrong is still I believe Lance Armstrong is not involved in the foundation anymore, even though he started it. And it's still like a foundation that does really good work. And so unfortunately, Lance Armstrong, being the sociopath, piece of shit he is, has done a lot of damage to that. And they've tried to distance himself from him. Oh, Rusty. So, who said they rode up Mount Graham? And then Rusty was saying it's an iconic cycling climb that was featured in state bicycle companies riding up fixed. Rusty, do you remember what pro was in the video when they used Mount Graham? Because I watched a bunch of those. Oh, Pudgy was saying Livestrong is now Pelotonia. Okay, I have friends who still do that. Yeah. Yeah, Rick, I could raise a glass to your buddy across the street who passed. 95. No chance I'll make it that long. Dope strong, Pudgy. Sorry. Switching gears from I'm like a news anchor to being serious to laughing at a joke the next second. Oh, you think it was the Alex Howes video? Yeah, I definitely watched the Alex Howes one. Me and Aaron watched that, so yeah. Arj Mard said to cheer to Lou, the 95-year-old. Nice. Oh, yeah, Lanky's got his bike done, so we need to do a ride. Like I said, I'll be out of town next week, and then we've got the gravel ride on that Sunday. So let me see. What about that? What about if we get good weather on the Thursday after the gravel ride? Um, no, that the Tuesday after the gravel ride I couldn't do. I have a photo shoot for Earthquaker Day, for Earthquaker Devices, the guitar pedal company. But maybe that Thursday, the 17th. So, pudgy. Well, you know what? That Thursday, the 17th, I was thinking of doing a members chat with a bunch of the people who were at the gravel ride, but that could still work. No, I think we should keep those separate. Can I do the 20? I know we're getting down the road, Lanky, but maybe do the Tuesday, the 22nd. Um, might be a good time. Yeah, I need to check on the kid coverage. We'll DM about this instead of me slightly buzzed looking at my phone trying to figure it out. But yeah, and let me know if there's a preferred night, Lanky, for you Tuesday or Thursday if the kid coverage difference is if you have a difference with that with the day of the week. So Rick asked what would happen if he reported Pudgy's comment. Well, if you report a video on YouTube, they actually put human eyes on it. It doesn't necessarily like take it down or do anything negative to it. It just means that their team will actually review it. So I don't know if they do that with comments or if they review an account, maybe if you do that. Oh, I missed your joke, Patrick, where he said hashtag live wrong for the Lance Armstrong. Funny Brad said you could tell us after I report you. Yeah, I don't, I grew up like, Lance Armstrong was an icon and a hero and not even being into racing, just somebody who rode bikes, but just having actually read stuff and the people who are around him, like Tyler Hamilton's book, I just have no respect for the guy. And it's not because he doped. Like when people say like everyone doped then, like most people did dope then. If you wanted to be in the pro peloton in Lance Armstrong's era, you pretty much did have to be doping on some level. Lance Armstrong's a horrible human being. Like that's the problem. It's not that he denied it. It's not that he doped. It's that he destroyed lives of people who tried to fix the problem. And just in general, he's a sociopath. I mean, he's just a horrible, horrible human being. And that's all there is to it. He tried to destroy Greg LeMond's career, and he's just not a good person. It's it's not just about the doping, and that's what needs to be made clear because that's what so many people say when you end up talking shit about Lance Armstrong, and you're not even talking shit when you talk the truth about Lance Armstrong. So many people bring up like everyone doped then. And here's the other thing. We don't know everyone doped then. There was riders who probably could have been something. A lot of the riders who were aging out, like LeMond, once the doping thing came on scene, retired because they weren't going to do it. And so how many riders could have been good riders but weren't willing to have blood extracted from their arm? You know what I mean? So that's also a debate worth having too. That's about the whole everybody doped thing. Like, well, everybody who was at the top level in that era was doping. How many people could have been a rider who was winning the tour, who were winning the spring classics, you know, didn't win because everybody else was cheating and they weren't willing to, so they were just a domestique instead of a, team leader. You'll never know. We'll never know. Was Lance Armstrong probably still one of the greatest cyclists of all time? Absolutely. Doping only takes you so far. You know what I mean? You still have to do the work. You still have to train like crazy. You still have to be a smart rider. You still have to have a strong team. But we'll never know. We don't get to know. With Museo, I'm wearing a Matt By hat. Like, love the guy as a classic rider. He's a known doper. He admits he doped. Would he have still been one of the best classics riders of all time? The Lion of Flanders? We'll never know. So Pudgy was saying, he was saying met him twice and he was a total douche. The other thing is a lot of people talk about how they met him and he was awesome. The whole thing is sociopaths are very charming a lot of the time. That's why they're good at what they do. They weasel their way in. They're really nice. Anyone here who's ever dated a sociopath will know this, right? All of a sudden you think you're the one who's like crazy. Gaslighting is the phrase for that now. That's the kind of person he is too. So it's not just, like he said, he rode bikes with him, sort of, him and 10,000 other people. Rick said Lance Armstrong is his dad. He's out. Rick said, who would you rather meet, Lance Armstrong or a creepy little girl? And by saying that, Rick is referencing a story that me and Large Marge completely had where we ran into a lost girl in the woods, which was very strange. So Alejandro said Lance turned him off trucks for a long time. Recently bought an old truck frame to rebuild it. Yeah, I was a truck guy. I think that was part of it. The bike shop that I went to growing up was a truck bike shop. My mountain bike from 2001 is a truck mountain bike. But yeah, I have my 83, my 82 vintage truck, which I absolutely love. But to be honest, I wouldn't buy a truck now, but trucked it to Le Mans basically because of Armstrong. And then just, everyone could have their own personal politics. I'm not a fan of Truck's politics. They're a little right-wingy for me. So Rick's real name is Stretch Armstrong. That's a pretty good one. Jay Dandy said, was Lance the biggest douche of all time? He's up there. Yeah, Pudgy said he was working in the bike industry, so he didn't care about him. And Lance has added, like Lance, what he did to the team too. He would sell off a lot of their equipment for profit. So Lance would actually sell trucks and stuff that were supposed to be team bikes and basically keep the money. Tyler Hamilton writes about it. It's nuts. He was like, Lance was riding the top of the line, best stuff. A lot of us ended up on the training bikes because Lance would put them in charity auctions, give them to friends, sell them, just all kinds of stuff. He's a horrible person. He's just an absolute horrible person. Rusty said Phil Gaiman. Yeah, I watched Phil Gaiman's YouTube channel. Jay Danny was saying cycling is not clean today. The way who knows? I mean, who knows how they can measure stuff? Now they actually use a biological passport. They use baselines to establish people's like natural, whatever you want to call it. Like, not whatever you want to call it. I just can't think of the scientific word for it. It seems pretty clean. Cycling tests way more than NFL football does. Cycling is way cleaner than NFL football. Whether cyclists have figured out something else, unlikely. It's only been with the modern bikes and modern training that cycling today is starting to beat the times that were set by Lance Armstrong and Marco Pantani. So to me, like the technology is way better. The bikes are faster. The bikes are lighter. The training is way better, way more advanced. And they're just getting to beat those times that were setting the doping era. So I do believe it's fairly clean, but hard to say about anything forever, right? You know, because there's so many. Yeah. Oh, I've never read any of Phil Gaiman's books. I've only watched his YouTube channel. And then he used to ride for the precursor to what is the EF team, what when it was Garmin Sharp, I believe. So, and then largest joke about he should have taught you how to level a saddle. I enjoy Phil's stuff because he seems pretty honest. You know, like he did all that work during the pandemic to try and break the Everesting record and failed pretty badly. You know, so he got nut cancer to be more arrow. Large is a Ted King guy. Yeah, it's amazing that I went so long without knowing about Ted King. But I definitely dig him. He'll be racing is Unbound on Saturday or Sunday. Um, but Flow Bikes, I think I brought this up on Tuesday. Flow is going to attempt to cover it. It's not going to be like the helicopter motorcycle coverage of like a pro race, but they're going to have some cameras on the ground and they have some feeds and they're going to keep updated with what's going on. There's a bunch of pros in there. Maybe I was chatting. I don't know if I brought this up. Me and Pudgy were chatting and Instagram DMs about it. But yeah, the EF guys aren't there because Lachlan Morton is riding in the Dauphiné right now, and Alex Howes is riding in the Tour de Suisse next week, Tour of Switzerland, without the translation. So, Jay Dandy, you're right. UCI has always been extremely corrupt. EF has been, and Jonathan Vaughters, their manager, have been trying to get rid of the UCI or reform the UCI for a long time. The UCI was completely complicit in doping back in the day, for sure. But that doesn't mean that everything is the same. Even though the UCI still is not great, it doesn't mean that everybody is still doping because there's still the World Anti-Doping Agency, there's still the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, and they all have their own jurisdictions. That's why Team Sky and the stuff that's been going on, that's been in British court. So, you know, the British have been, you know, talking about some of the early Team Sky doctors and managers, and they've been found guilty and banned from cycling. So, Patrick asked how I feel about Wiggins. Wiggins is caught up in a lot of scandal. Personally, I like Wiggins' commentary on pro racing. GCN and Eurosport use him, but also Wiggins screwed over the early versions of EF because Jonathan Vaughters is the one who convinced Wiggins that he could be a Grand Tour winner instead of a track rider. Then he went to Team Sky, and the scandal at Team Sky that the what was it, the manager of Sky at the time or the trainer, can't remember, has been caught up and known to have had dope. So the jury is still out on Wiggins. Was right at the end of the doping era when it was going into what is considered the clean era. So it's hard to say with Wiggins. You know, Team Sky was founded on the idea that they were going to use marginal gains and train so efficiently that it would be like they were doping. But Lanky was saying he'd lend me some Phil Gaiman books. Well, we should do book, like I said, when it comes fall, when the weather changes, we'll do a channel on the Discord for anyone who's interested in doing like a cycling book club. Sounds nerdy. It is nerdy. I'm totally into that though. So, yeah. Jay Dandy called it Unbound Real Racing. I was just listening to the guy who won the last two Unbounds. What's his name? Like, he was saying he doesn't mind that pros are riding, but he doesn't want to see gravel turn into team tactics, pro team tactics, and I totally agree with that. I still would rather see, like, it doesn't mean you can't buddy up with your friends, but I don't want it to be like a 7-man team out there using world tour pro racing team tactics. I think that would it would just change it too much, but oh, Rick was saying, how could he watch Unbound? So Flow Bikes is a subscription service, just like GCN or NBC Sports Gold, which I use for the tour. But I think they make you sign up for a whole year. So if you're not interested in signing up for a year, it's probably not worth it. Flow is trying to cover it from the guys who founded Flow. They were saying because, 2 years ago they were trying to, the one guy was racing, he said, and I think he said the Dauphiné actually, and he was trying to see if his buddy, who was the guy that did someone answer the guy who won the last couple, DK, I can't think of his name right now. Well, if anyone brings it up, he was a former teammate of the guy who's won the last two, now called Unbound, and he was like, I'm trying to, like, there's only 2 checkpoints. He was like, I was trying to check in on the race from France and I couldn't. So Flow is trying to cover it in a way to at least have some kind of, coverage. So people can at least know who's in the lead, what's going on, and all that kind of stuff. So, like you said, if we watch Thereabouts, that sounds super familiar. It sounds like something I've watched. I just watched 2, by the way. I meant to drop the link in the Discord in the videos section. I don't know if anyone else has. I need to scan through the videos. But Salsa just put out a really, really cool video today, I believe, as well. Jay Dandy says Sky was cheating. Yeah, British Cycling is under. So Team Sky, which is now Ineos, was born out of British Cycling, the national British Cycling. And there's a lot of scandals surrounding British Cycling when they came to start. Yeah, Colin Strickland, right? Yep, Colin Strickland. Yeah, but yeah, Sky was born out of British Cycling, and there's a lot of controversy. Even though they said they had a zero tolerance policy, it's turning out a lot of it wasn't true. And Jay Dandy said I'm just trying to justify it as someone who enjoys it. I've just kind of, I don't know. I look into the history and I'm not sure I'm just justifying it because I like it or rationalizing it. I enjoy it either way. I mean, I enjoy watching the vintage Paris-Roubaix. When Paris-Roubaix comes around, I'll watch some of the old ones. I do like watching Museo win Flanders. I know all the guys up front are mostly admitted dopers. I don't think the sport is dirty like it was then. Yeah, and Jandy was saying he likes gravel racing because it's not team tactics or supported. Same thing. It's like gravel is back to the beginning of racing. That's how racing was. You weren't allowed to be supported. One of the early tour winners was disqualified because I think a blacksmith let him use his hammer as he was trying to like straighten out one of his rims. So, like, that's how strict the Tour de France was back in the day. So, yeah. Yeah, Stetna is always up there too. Oh, Rick said there is a monthly version of Flow. So yeah, if you pay the $12.50 now, which you spend more a week on this channel, so and then just cancel after a month, it'd be And if you have so if you pay the $12.50 now and you have a VPN and you wanted to flip on the Tour de France on any day while you're working, even the way I watched it before I cared that much about cycling, just because the beautiful scenery and stuff like that, you could leave it on for a while. So, oh, so Lanky was saying the thereabouts are Lachlan Morton and his brother. Yes, I have watched those. I think I actually watched those with Large Marge, if I remember correctly, but I have checked those out. Yeah. Funny Brad was saying that Colin actually rides an Allied Able. Nice. Now, Rusty, you out? I'll see you later. Oh yeah, and then like you was saying, it's got my favorite dude, the space cadet that is Taylor Finney. Yeah, and Taylor Finney rode Unbound with Alex Howes and Lachlan Morton, but he got what like something like 5 flat tires in a row. Like they say that Pudgy said he shared some of those early on in the share of it thread over on the Discord. But yeah, like Taylor Finney rode what was 30 counts at the time, if we're still allowed to say that. DK, I think that's why everyone says DK now. But DK to me means Dustin Klein. So, but yeah, Finney, like, yeah, he had horrible luck there. And that would have been his kind of race. But they say that Flint is just like brutal on sidewalls. But yeah, Pudgy, Finney didn't bonk. He kept flatting. Yeah. That would have been his kind of, well, over 200 miles, even though isn't the climbing like some like 6,000 feet? It's not that crazy for how long the ride is. Rick said if he subscribes to Flow, he could hold off on the super chats. Oh, Rusty said he's dropping BJ jokes, but that he thinks they're not getting through the filter. Yeah. I have no filter, so Stream Elements, the bot that drops like my links and stuff like that, and that makes these overlays possible. It makes the super chats pop up. It has it so I could filter out stuff, but I don't have any of that turned on. So it would definitely be YouTube if anything's doing it. So Lanky thinks DK stands for Donkey Kong. Yeah. Rick's gonna call someone else out for jokes. Oh, this is one other thing I did want to show. I need to pull it up here. Oh, and it looks like there's something in the. Where did that go? I'll do a shout out real quick to Patty said an acquaintance of his started a new bag company. Well, I'm looking up what I was trying to look up. I'll pop this up here real quick. Don't get mad, pedal. Pudgy, I've definitely dropped your friend in there too. Nice. I'll check that out in more detail later. Broadford said he thought Colin was riding with the for the alternative calendar. Um, he was in one of their promo videos. Huh? That must have been a little while ago then, huh? Like he was saying, it's too long for Finney to stay focused. Finney was good in the flat classics. I mean, when I went to Paris Roubaix, Finney came in eighth, I believe, and that's what he was aiming for the next year. And then he punctured, and the team car drove right by him, or the mechanics car, and they missed him and didn't change his flat, and he retired after that. I think he thought that was his last chance. He was also in the breakaway in his last year in the Tour de France in the last stage around Paris. So the flat stages, he could be up there if it wasn't going to be a pure sprint but a long flat stage. That's what he was good at. So. Oh, Lanky said he rode to Akron on Monday specifically to get a pick in front of the Macho Man, and it wasn't there. So he's referring to a mural that our friend um, Neil painted. So Neil's in the Discord, and Neil was on the Yeti ride. And I think sometimes he's popped in the chat on the stream, and I think he watches them once in a while the day after. Yeah, Neil painted it. So they put in new garage doors at Dirty River. that are clear. But what they're going to do with the one Neil painted is they're going to put it on that brick wall next door, so it'll be back up. But yeah, you missed it. You were there for the, I think, what, 2 days after it came down, maybe. Pudgy said I'm good. He doesn't care who I promote. Yeah. And then Jay Dandy said it's the ride, not the destination. Routeworks. WERKS. I am not familiar with that. I'll pull them up in a second, Lanky. And Patrick was saying it looks like good stuff. So I do want to shout out. So Tom, and I know he reached out to me somewhere because I remember someone asking me if I liked coffee, but I went back through like my Instagram direct messages, and then YouTube comments are a disaster. So I always get a notification when someone comments on a video first, but if I reply and then there's another comment on it, it could be really hard to find sometimes. So if Tom reached out to me on YouTube, that's why I couldn't find him, but I can't remember where it was or if it was in a live chat. But he sent me 2 bags of coffee from Stumptown, which is out in the what is the main one's out in Portland, right? And a couple of cold brews. I already drank the cold brews and they were delicious, which something I never buy for myself, but loved them. I haven't had the coffees yet. I was thinking it'd be cool to brew one the morning of the ride, so we could, Pudgy will be here and Rick will be here, and we could drink it then. But yeah, so I just got to thank this Tom for sending me. He said he's a fan of the evening routine, and like I said, I couldn't find his original comment, so I don't know where to thank him directly. But I wanted to pull it up and thank him for sending me coffee, for being a fan of the stream. It's pretty cool, pretty nice. But yeah. Copy and paste the route works. Is it a Kickstarter? Routeworks? Oh no, there it is. There's a review on bikepacking.com, cycling tips, but they're not coming up themselves. Oh, is this the bar bag that had the quad lock on top and everything? One of our friends got one of these. One of our friends actually, I don't know if, was it Mike Holland? I don't think he's in here tonight, but I think he actually scored one of these. Yes, is this what we're thinking of? Because I believe this is it. Oh, Rick ordered one, and then it got real sketchy, right? He never got it. Did you get your money back, though, Rick? So, if they got overwhelmed by demand and couldn't pull it off and gave you your money back, it's not necessarily sketchy. I'm not defending them. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, to me, it's not sketchy if you get your money back. And here it shows out of stock, Because I believe Kickstarter people did get them. It's just anyone who ordered after, they couldn't keep up. But correct me if I'm wrong. Like I said, I'm not trying to stand up for this company. I've just seen a number of different things. So Rick said they had his money for months, and then he did get refunded. I still think someone we know actually scored one. Some of the review models they liked, but they were also talking about the noise. But I watched the Kickstarter video; it was very compelling. I considered putting my money in on the Kickstarter as well, but they're great at marketing. There's no doubt about that. So. Rick said to him it's sketchy if they do a line drawing. But you're the one who gave me your money, right? Pudgy said he thinks they made them wrong. Then said they could send the wrong ones, refund the money, or wait like a year. Yeah. Let me take this screen off and look up who I think might have got one. And if I'm wrong, then I won't pull it up. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I was right. So they did ship some. And he said the same thing that I saw in the review of someone who had it. He said adjustments on the Roberts bag to stop the rattle that was slightly annoying. Yeah, I knew someone had scored. I knew someone we knew had actually gotten one of them. All right, Lanky. We'll talk to you later. Yeah, let's DM and figure out a good time to do a ride with both. I think I'll ride my Schwinn because that's a bike I have not ridden again this year. It'd be the perfect bike to ride with you when you ride your Italian build. A couple skinny tire Neo retro bikes. Make a video together and then to do a live stream together. So. So here's what Rick posted. During our routine inspection of our bags prior to shipping them to customers, we identified an assembly issue that has required us to halt all deliveries from this batch. So again, a Kickstarter that failed not because they were trying to be sketchy, but because they decided to be like honest and say we messed up. I don't know. I'm part of a Kickstarter for a film company that was bringing back this Italian film brand, Ferrania. Their goal was to bring back color film because there's only 2 color film factories in the world, whether you know this or not. One is Kodak's and one is a Fuji. It's very expensive and complicated to make color film. They never succeeded, but they were able to bring back black and white film. And so they went through a number of phases with their Kickstarter where, like, if you want your money back, you could have it. If you want our black and white beta version of the film, you can have that. If you want to hang on a little longer, you can do that. And then they've come back a number of times. That's the Kickstarter model. You're taking a risk, right? So, like you said, might need to separate ride and stream depending on timing. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Funny Brad's out too. Good night, Lanky. Good night, Funny Brad. It's 10:41. I think I'll do a piddle break and then close up. But like I said, I'm not defending this company, but Kickstarters are a slight gamble. And if you got your money back, you did better than a lot of people. Do you remember that autonomous waterproof drone that everybody bought a few years ago? They just up and like gave nobody their money back and disappeared. So, you know. The lanky wave back. He's a nice roadie. What? Wait, I missed Pudgy, your comment. If he could take the look off that jump. I can't remember what jump I pulled up, but I would not take the look off any jump. Yeah. All right, piddle break video. I'll be right back. So I was wondering if Large Marge was still here, and then he says, "I'm a shill for Big Bag now too." I guess Lanky already went to bed, so he's because I'm sure he would have brought up how I'm, in the pocket of the cashew industry, and now I'm in the pocket of Big Bag. But Rick was saying he ordered it on open market, so I wonder maybe they delivered on their Kickstarter when then they got a new manufacturer in the Far East, and they weren't up to spec of the original ones. Again, I'm not trying to defend this company. I have no horse in this race, as I believe the kids say. Jay Dandy said, "Did someone say Big Bag?" So did you guys all smash the like button like Peter McKinnon would tell you to do? Oh man, Patrick. Well, like I said, I am going to keep it at 10:45, but brief tonight. These two 9%ers have already got me buzzed, and I am going to go to bed and get a good night's rest, even though I'm buzzed, because I have to be so productive tomorrow and a little bit on Saturday and make time for Aaron before I leave. And not that that's a chore, just that I want to do that. Oh, Patrick totally smashed that like button. Do you guys know, is Peter McKinnon like a household name? I mean, he has like 5 million subscribers on YouTube. Can you just reference Peter McKinnon and people know who you're talking about, or is that just because I'm a photographer that I know who he is? What's up, everybody? There's my Peter McKinnon interpretation. Large. Yeah. Sponsored by Big Nut and Big Bags. My or a shill. That's such a better term. A shill. That's such a great term. I'm drunk. There we go. Rick said Peter is great, but he's done with that stuff. I liked Peter better when it was more tutorial, which is why he grew so fast. Stretching my legs again here. So now it's just a little less interesting to me now. I still subscribe but I only watch probably 1 out of 5 videos. And he also, I'm a Canon guy, he's a Canon guy, but he can't review Canon gear anymore because he's paid by Canon. So you can't trust his opinions. I'd rather go to DP Review or something like that. I think he's still an interesting dude, but yeah. Patrick said he doesn't know who Peter McKinnon is, so. Like a big sack of nuts, does he? And big pork, yes. What triggers? Oh, that's what it is. Oh, Patrick beat me to it, yeah. We need to make some more of those, yeah. We haven't had any trolls for a while. Yeah, Jinx. You think DP Review are clickbaiters? So, DP Review is added. So, for those of you who don't know, their photography review website, and then they built a giant YouTube channel out of the two guys who used to be on the camera store. But now they have an element where they don't use those guys and they do more like ad stuff, and they've separated it. But when you say clickbait, I mean, that's YouTube. That's how YouTube works. So the fact that they might be new specs for whatever, and it has like a thumbnail, like the videos, the meat of the videos, I think are as good as anything on YouTube. they completely review stuff honestly. They will be like, I cannot stand this button layout. You know, they'll trash a Canon for overheating. They'll trash a Sony for having bad color and menus. So we do have a Keith. We have a Pudgy, sorry. Pudgy said, man, I thought you meant something way different when you said DP review. Everyone will have to figure that out for themselves if you haven't already. I was kind of hoping. Oh, you were thinking of f-stoppers. F-stoppers, same thing. I take some stuff from f-stoppers. You know, their website has a paywall and all that, which that's a business model. That's what they do. That's fine. But their YouTube channel goes both ways. Like, I've really liked some f-stoppers videos. I skip most of f-stoppers videos. So yeah. Camera nerd talk again. A lot of camera nerd talk. Back to the roots of the live stream when it was just me and Pudgy nerding out about Canons. So yeah, that's what I was about to say, Pudgy. I was hoping traveling through would be able to swing by tonight so we could all congratulate him on his big moment. Hopefully I did on his video anyways, though, and hopefully we'll see him next week. So will it double pork if you do pork twice? I have no idea. yes. But yes, pork was at least funny for a while. Unlike the earlier, I don't know how many of you were here for the racist troll we had for a while, but which I think was, like I said, a guy I knew from my band back in the day who went off the deep end, became a total right wing, stormed the Capitol Trumpster. So weird. Abort. Yes, abort. So anyways, started working on a video tonight from our Memorial Day ride up to Cleveland. I'll finish that by the weekend, schedule it for Monday. Hope to Rick, hope to port. I try to focus and then your guys talk than these comments. But yeah. Try to stream from the hotel on Tuesday. I don't think I'll have a problem doing that. Like I said, it's a downtown Louisville hotel. They said they're suites. I mean, I can't imagine the Wi-Fi wouldn't be strong enough to pull that off. And I can't imagine I wouldn't be done with work by 9 o'clock. Like I said, no chance on Thursday we'll be driving home at that point. Unless we really, like, that Thursday shoot falls through and we drive home early, then I jump on for a little bit. But yeah, that's the schedule coming up this week. And then next week, some of us get to finally meet up in person. I'm looking forward to that. Really looking forward to that. We really need to, this week, jump on some planning for Saturday. And no matter how many groups it is, like, depending on when people are coming into town. I haven't even talked to Pudgy or Rick about this yet. But yeah, let's get all that stuff together and start seeing what everybody wants to do and have a blast. So yeah, I'm excited about it. Thanks, Rick. I guess I have a shoulder mount for their camera, so hopefully I don't drop it because I've also never used a shoulder mount. So, all right, guys.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is not
Fitzwater photo.